Hello and welcome to another video here with me, Arne Huschenbeth. We're playing Explorer yet again, and finally it's time for Esper control. Yes, you've all been waiting for it, and I've sat down, built a list, took a list from a Pioneer event way back in the past that I already tried in Pioneer when I was testing for Sophia, and now I reiterated it, made some changes for Explorer, of course, because not all cards were available in Explorer. And here we have Esper control, mixing the strong blue-white base with some splash, a little splash for black interaction. Fetid Push and Vanishing Verse. Vanishing Verse is absolutely incredible right now. Mono Green Devotion, Rakdos Midrange, all the monocolored aggro decks. So many decks right now just play permanents that are monocolored. Vanishing Verse cleanly gets rid of them. Excellent with Teferi. You have a nice interactive piece to drop your Teferi on 5+, and then Vanishing Verse something to really swing a game into your favor or make it impossible for the opponent to ever come back from that Teferi hitting the battlefield. So yeah, and of course Mono Green Devotion being one of the big decks in the format, Vanishing Verse dealing with that one is pretty nice too. And then Fetid Push, cheap removal. Early game matters a lot for these control decks, right? You wanna get that early game advantage, or at least not fall behind. Fetid Push is excellent there. Gets rid of manlands cheaply. So the revolt part, not that easy to accomplish in this deck. We don't have treasures or blood tokens to sacrifice. We can cycle a shark for 0. That will make a 0/0 shark leave the battlefield to enable revolt, or I don't know, lose a planeswalker, I guess, or a 2/2 samurai token, something like that. The rest of the deck, of course, is pretty much the standard stuff you also see in blue-white control. We have the Censor package, we have Make Disappear, Dovin's Veto. I guess we could talk about cards that could appear in the deck that are black, for example. Void Rend is an option, Eliminate is an option. Both of those deal with Kiora, or Void Rend deals with anything, right? With Planeswalkers. But Kiora is a bit of an annoying card that sometimes could bother you. But I mean, I'm playing a lot of counterspells for the Planeswalkers. With the 7 counters here, sure, Make Disappear and Censor are not clean counters. But at least in the case of Kiora, that's a card that usually will be played as soon as possible, because then you get the most advantage out of Kiora. You want to deploy it on turn 2 if possible. So it will often run into a Censor on turn 2. And then of course we got the 4 free mana cancel effects, playing 2 Absorb and 2 Dissipate. Dissipate I want to try out because there's a decent amount of things that come back from the graveyard. May it be Kroxa or Storm the Festival is a big one out of Mono Green Devotion. And then, yeah, I know in the mirror match it can exile a Memory Deluge, for example. There's things here and there, so I just want to go with Dissipate for now and try that one. Verdict, Memory Deluge, Wandering Emperor, not much to say there. Teferi, Shark Typhoon, and 1 copy of Farewell. I mean, this is pretty standard stuff. The mana base, rock solid. We're playing some utility lands still. And of course we have our black lands for the splash. You won't be able to play things like Field of Ruin because the mana base doesn't allow so. Also, you are missing out on Otavara, you're missing out on Eiganjo. So there are certainly things that are worse about the Esper mana base. But you do have a tri-land that you can cycle as well. So in the late game, if you draw Raffine's Tower, you can cycle it. That works as well. Sideboards, we got the Rest in Pieces, Mystical Disputes, and Dovin's Veto, of course, for those appropriate matchups. I have 1 Narset in here. A little bit of a fun one I put in the sideboard is Chromium, the Mutable. 7 mana flash, the spell can't be countered, flying, and for discarding a card you can make it into a human and it will gain hexproof. This thing is a tough one to beat in a control mirror, and I'm sure you could play Commence the Endgame or, I don't know, Hullbreaker or whatever, but hey, we're playing Esper, so we have Chromium available to us. So yeah, let's do it. I hope I get to use it today in this video to beat a blue-white control player. That would be awesome. Aether Gust, Disdainful Stroke. Disdainful Stroke I really like against Mono Green Devotion, one of the better cards there. And Aether Gust, just decent all around, of course. Temporary Lockdown for early aggression, quite a nice card. Another Void Rend here for to deal with anything. Starnheim Unleashed and Lyra Dawnbringer lurking in the bottom of the sideboard. You know, just having a little bit of this Angel package to surprise people with. Starnheim Unleashed can be pretty good against a Rakdos player in the late game. Making 3 Angels or something like that is, of course, difficult to beat for anybody who's trying to play fair Magic. And last but not least is a Memory Deluge. Whenever I play Control Mirror, Deluge just seems like the best thing to be casting on turn 4. It feels horrible, like you can counter it, but the game's going to go long. It's going to go until that point. And then Memory Deluge, you can also bring it in against a grindy mid-range matchup. It's pretty good against Rakdos too, of course. Yeah, I mean, you could also play Shark Typhoon or something if you don't have the 4th Memory Deluge as a wild card. And of course, there's different cards you can play in that slot. But I just want to go with that Memory Deluge for now. This list is still fairly fresh. I haven't really tried it. Might do some changes, so if you're interested in seeing the final product, definitely watch until the end. And yeah, then you can also, if you're curious, in the description I usually put the deck list that I have at the end of a video. Often I don't change a card after a video, but sometimes I do, and then that's why at the beginning of a video perhaps the deck list is different to the one you find in the description, but if you watch until the end, you'll see why the one is different. Okay, we're on the play. To untap lands all the way. No 2-drop, no 1-drop. But because we're on the play, I feel comfortable keeping. Alright, the elf it is. Yeah, you really want to have 2-mana counters these days. That's why I have these 7 counter spells. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to finish my sentence. You understand why we need counter spells. Love to make a splash. You do, yeah. I think I won't use a shark to just cycle it. I'll try to kill the Kiora later with the shark token. That's my plan. And here with double counter spell, we could just, you know, counter all the threats they have. This looks like an old growth troll. Yeah. And then they won't even draw cards, right? If you play against a ramp deck and you can just counter all their high end, that usually works out in your favor. Just play the Glacial Fortress. That's fine. Are you gonna attack me? Ooh. Are you sure about that? That is a very greedy attack. Against someone who just casts an Absorb. They might be Wandering Emperor, they might be Shark Typhoon. Well, sometimes you gotta learn by the painful way. Interesting spot. So I'm gonna attack the Kiora. The question is, do I play Teferi? And what do I do with it? I could just minus on the Llanowar Elves. Right now they have 4 mana. I think they have Cavalier of Thorns. I mean, they're missing land drops, right? They didn't play a Khan last turn, even though they could have played a Khan. They had 4 mana. So I'm thinking they have Storm, Cavalier, something like that. Maybe they have a Khan. But really their hand has to be 5 drops and 6 drops. So in that case, I could just play Teferi and minus on the elf. And then the worst thing they could do is play Forest Old Growth Troll. But wouldn't they have played Old Growth Troll last turn if they had it? And even if they play Old Growth Troll, I mean, that's pretty annoying because my Teferi is on low loyalty. I could just play Teferi Plus. Then they play Cavalier. And then they draw a card, they get back into the game. That's bad. That I don't want to have happen. So either I play Teferi and minus on the elf, or I just pass. And I wait until deploying this Teferi. Keep up my counter magic for another turn. I think I like just minusing on the elf, honestly. Taking a mana away. I think it's pretty unlikely that my opponent has that old growth troll. And even if they do, I'm probably going to be okay. And I'm going to draw like up to 3 cards with the cycling. Yeah, they have nothing. My guess about their hand must be right. Their hand is just 5 and 6 drops. Yeah, they must be really having a clunker there. Maybe they have more Niktos. I guess that could be the case too. All right. Yeah. Farewell is decent. Verdict is potentially decent. Lockdown is potentially decent. Push is alright. So I think what cards you can cut is like this department of things you can trim. Wandering Emperor. Not as necessary when you have Vanishing Verse for the troll. So these are cards you can trim. I think what's important in this matchup is to have 2 mana counter spells. Like Aether Gust and Veto. Disdainful Stroke is definitely coming in. Lyra, I think, is just a bit too slow, too clunky in a way, because the mono green deck can overpower Lyra. Khan can fetch something to kill it. Against the green deck, usually you would bring in the Angel. But against this green deck, they have ways to make it look embarrassing. So Void Rend is an option, and Lockdown is an option. I'm not sure how much better or worse Lockdown is than Fatal Push. There's spots where Lockdown can be incredible, but on the play, I think I like the Lockdown more on the play, but I like the push more on the draw. The elves will have done a lot of damage already when you have it on the draw, right? Because they will be played, then there's turn 2 happening, they can drop something, then there's turn 3 happening, you could drop like already a 5-6 if they had other ramp. So at that point, are you going to lock down? Are you going to counter? I guess you could counter the 5-6 and then lock down. Or counter the big thing and then lock down. I guess that's reasonable. Verdicts, I'll go down to 1 copy, I think. And then maybe an Emperor cuts that. Shark Typhoon is kind of like, eh. Can kill a Planeswalker, which is cool. Maybe I'll try a lockdown. Not super confident. Push can also be pretty bad in draws where they just don't draw an elf, right? They have 8 targets essentially where you push. If they don't draw elf and you have like push in hand, it's not great. Or 2 push now. I mean, I'm gonna keep this hand, but if they don't play an elf, you can see that this can go south. And to be fair, an issue about this version is that you don't have push on turn 1 available to you often. Because you don't have that many untapped black sources. I think here I'm just gonna pass the turn. I could take out the elf, but they could play land Kiora. That wouldn't be good. So I'll just wait with counter magic up. Okay. Yeah, I'll veto that. It's pretty good with the Haven. Definitely gotta counter that. And then I can push the elf. They have another one. I'll definitely kill one. Question is, do I kill both? We know they missed the land drops. Two mana. Another Kiora. Kiora beats me anyways. So I can't Censor Kiora. I can basically get a 5-6 here if they draw another land, or I can get a Khan. If they have Troll, I can just exile it. But if they have land Khan, I don't have anything against that either. If they just have Khan, I'm good with Censor. They have Troll. Okay, I can just verse that one. Maybe I should actually push here. Just thinking about what's more important to kill. I can take like 8 damage from the Troll. Don't matter that much. Now I kill the elf. I mean, Fetid Pools was pretty good here. But temporary lockdown would have also been really good, right? I would have countered the Kiora, play lockdown, exile everything. It would have been excellent. Okay, this is just working out perfectly for me. There's the lockdown, huh? Or I'll pass. I could still lose this game. Even though we had a lot of answers for this stuff. Lockdown can take out everything here. Which is pretty good, actually. Maybe Lockdown is just great in this matchup. They have a Boseiju, but they already played it. I'll attack for 2 and then I play Lockdown. They will really trim down their mana. They will go down to 4 mana. And then we're left with Teferi Vanishing Verse. They have a beast that can attack. Okay, I mean this worked out fantastically. Esper, probably better than blue-white or blue-black in this matchup. Because Vanishing Verse is very good. And if you build your deck in a way to capitalize on, like, to just have a lot of 2-mana counters, I think that's really important against mono green, then, I mean, again, with control decks, most of the time you can build your deck in a way that it beats a certain deck, right? Like if I want to beat mono red burn, I can just put a bunch of life gain in my deck. If I want to beat mono green devotion, I can play Vanishing Verses, card draw, and a lot of counter spells, cheap counter spells. I'm going to beat it. But then again, the problem is the metagame is more than just one deck. So the funny thing is though, then if the deck is not like if the metagame is very small, like there's only 1 or 2 top decks, or 3 maybe, or like 2 top decks that battle out against each other and suppress everybody else. In a format like that, perhaps you can attack those 2 decks by playing a control deck and just aiming to beat those decks, and that usually can work. In any case, Explorer is not a format like that, of course. Right now, Karuga, the Macro Sage, makes me not really want to keep this hand. I have a push, which is kind of dead already. Against Karuga, and yeah, I have 5 lands. I want to have counter spells. I'm gonna reluctantly keep this hand. Hallowed Fountain allows every land to come untapped, so yeah. They can sneak a Fable onto the board before we can counter anything. In case they have Fable, I'm gonna push. So I'm gonna play Chapel over Shrine. Yeah. Usually a matchup where you're happy to be on the control side. But being on a draw, they resolved the Fable already. Yeah, well, this could go either way, of course. Oh. That surprises me. So they can sack this Reflection to get something. Well, it's an enigmatic incarnation deck without any 2-drops? Okay. Seems weird. Very weird. I don't know what I should think about this. I mean, probably countered. What are they getting? Archon, Yashan, Siege Rhino. Honestly, I can't think of anything too scary. Just Memory Deluge here. And then now the Enigmatic Incarnation doesn't do anything anymore. Right? Like, of course they get on Mars. Okay. Guess that's pretty decent. Yeah, that was a good one. Drawing a card is a bit annoying. Bone Crusher Giant. No? Maybe Leyline Binding? Probably Leyline Binding, yeah. I guess that's the scary part. That Leyline Binding with Enigmatic can now just for 1 mana get him something crazy. Like a Koba or something. Yeah, I didn't really consider that. Perhaps I was a bit greedy. Huh, but they don't want to do it, huh? Interesting. It really seems like they have Leyline Binding, but they don't want to get anything. Yeah, I'm gonna take some more damage from this Omnath. I'm not feeling like I have to crack up on this verdict quite yet. I'm at 11. If the opponent deploys any random creature, I get to snag it too. And if they don't deploy anything, that's good for me too. Yeah, perfect. They didn't play a land. They have 5 cards in hand. Shark Typhoon gets killed. At least the token gets killed by the binding. I guess I have Verse to disrupt that. Wandering Emperor. Just a decent card. I can just Verdict here. Shark Typhoon draws me a card, which is these. It's between Wandering Emperor and Shark Typhoon for me. If I have Verdict here, I have Emperor up still. I'll probably play this tap though. I don't know. Both reasonable. If they Leyline Binding and then get like a Titan of Industry with the Enigmatic, I guess I already have a Vanishing Verse, but then a Wandering Emperor could be nice. I do have the Vanishing Verse already. Dissipate, okay. Yeah, I just like Shark Typhoon drawing cards there. They clearly have a Leyline Binding. I wonder why they're not firing it off. Now they do, huh? Interesting. I think with the trigger on the stack, I could technically Vanishing Verse the Binding. If I want to. Like, what would be problematic? A Titan? I can just exile the Titan. Then they have a 4/4 left. Honestly, just get it. If they have Coma in the main deck, fair game. But I have Teferi to tuck the Coma away. They do have Coma. Ay. Maybe not fair game. Maybe this actually is pretty problematic. But you know, if I Vanishing Verse the Binding, they have another Binding. I'm like insane. Like, they get a Coma anyways. So I was thinking I'd rather just... I mean, it's obviously crazy good that they have Coma in the main deck. Jeez. But yeah, I was like, rather just get the Titan out of there so the future leyline bindings don't do anything. Now they have a coma that they're gonna redraw. Which is a huge problem, of course. We'll see how this game goes. Then again, exiling the leyline binding means another leyline binding will just do the same, so it's not a guaranteed way of... Oh, that's actually smart, huh? Sure. I mean, I lose the Serpent, though. I guess Kenrith would be fine because I have Vanishing Verse. Actually, everything's fine. I have another leyline binding. Yeah. Well, I can exile that too. Did I take that out? Funny. Because they just want to get the coma again. Yeah, that makes sense. Now they get a haster to kill my Teferi. They're binding the old gods. Oh my god. Yeah, sure, I guess. Okay, I should have never let this enigmatic resolve. Yikes. Also really punished for only having 3 blue sources in 9 lands, which is kind of crazy. Like, we could have just countered this binding there. Then they get another coma, so that's bad too, I guess. But okay, yeah, I think I just lost this game now. We have to kind of exile this binding, I guess. Yeah, we have to, don't we? Yeah, we have to. And then they get a 5-drop for free, which I don't know what that will be. Okay, yeah, I definitely should have countered this enigmatic incarnation. In the end, I still have an absorb in my hand, which I could have just used on the incarnation. And then this game would have gone, like, easy peasy. So, you know, when you play control, you don't quite know what the opponent's up to. I mean, in hindsight, you can always probably have some chatters in the YouTube chat telling me, like, hey, this was obvious, you have to counter enigmatic, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, I don't think it's super obvious all the time. But to be fair, maybe this one. I don't know, whatever. It's in the past now. So they can get Omnath, what have you, they can get a lot of nice things. I basically have to find a Teferi right near, or I can find a Supreme Verdict. I can still find a Verdict. That's not a Verdict. Okay, I'm gonna concede. They have coma coming. They're gonna return things. GG. That was not very good for me. It doesn't seem to be a deck that plays any of the hasters. Like Kenrith or Cavalier, this maybe just one Kenrith to fetch. This is just a Bonecrusher Giant, Fable, Omnath, Enigmatic Karuga deck, I guess. And then it plays some fetchable things for the Enigmatic, plays Binding the Old Gods. This deck looks bad, I gotta say. Like, Enigmatic Fires with Yorion just seems way better than that pile. Like, Enigmatic, you cannot really abuse it that much, can you? If you're not playing 2-drops. Make that card a lot worse. Verdict, Wandering Emperor. I think I like Emperor better than Verdict. Farewell can exile anything, which is pretty good. Can a lot of counter spells on my sideboard. Don't even know, like my entire everything looks good. I don't want to cut any of the counter spells, I think. Could cut some of the card draw. Could cut the sharks. Maybe not play Narset, but Narset shuts off some things too. I'll cut an Emperor, leave a shark. Sure. I do have too many cards for this matchups, apparently. Too many. I think I'm going to keep, actually. Even if I cycle the Censor, I still have 2 counters left. Maybe the verse isn't as good as I think it to be. They have a lot of multicolor permanent. Maybe I should have cut some. Maybe. Yeah, because it's a Karuga deck, there's no 2-drop I have to counter, so you just start with tap land, it's fine. But yeah, in game 1, we certainly threw away the game by not countering. Happens. For next time, we know. Sure. And we also know they have a Coma in their main deck, but or in their deck in general, which is good to know, of course. Gotta be aware of Mystical Dispute. It's actually a tap land, I'm just realizing. Okay, it's a bit awkward, I guess, but it's fine. It's nice to have this land in case, you know, we pass with mana up, we can make 1/1s. They're shocking themselves there? Why? Do they have Shark Typhoon? What? Something a flash? Okay. Maybe they have double dispute. If they dispute my Emperor, I'm actually happy about that. It's not really a card that I need here or want. More important is Memory Deluge resolving later on. I know they don't have land drops, so I think I'm just gonna Aether Gust this. Well, that's not true, but I know that they're like... Okay, they're bottoming it. They returned Karuga on a turn, so they probably drew the Fable just now. We'll just cycle the Censor, I think. Should I? If I think they have Mystical Dispute, they're gonna counter my Deluge anyways. So do I have to find the land to get there? Not really. This was a weird move to shock yourself there. Last turn, so I think they have double Mystical. Then again, if they have Mystical Dispute, they're never going to tap out of the blue mana anyways. And if they never tap out of the blue mana, not never, but unlikely, then the Censor doesn't do anything, so I can just cycle it. I hope you enjoy me going through these lines so in detail. I know I don't do this all the time, but especially when playing Control, I guess you have to consider a lot of things that your opponent might do and might have, so you appropriately answer them. And this is, I'm just trying to be as open of a book as I can and explain to you or tell you exactly what I'm thinking in these moments. This will take more time, right? Where my opponent might be bored now, for example, and just not playing anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to hear these in-depth thoughts, or if you're just like, yeah, play a bit faster, please. Come on, hurry up. I don't have all time. which I can also reasonably understand. Like if I'm watching a video and the player is like not playing crisp and fast, I might get bored. So I don't know what you guys like, or if you find this interesting. I guess that's the main point, because you don't get bored if you find it interesting what I'm saying. But my opponent clearly got bored, unfortunately. Okay. Well, we won that match in a weird way, but I guess we'll take it. Temporary lockdown. Wonder if you should just play that card instead of Fatal Push. Does seem pretty nasty against a lot of decks in the format. Temple Garden. Angels. Yep. Oh. Okay. That works as a free drop. Should I wait with the shark? Making a big shark later in the game can be pretty good. Finding Verdict is also a good idea though. Maybe I should have played Raffine's Tower there. The only way I got punished if they have land redrop, but they just played a Skyclave Apparition, so I think it's very likely that they have company and just pass here. I do have land free drop, I guess. I was right to do things the way I did. But they must have just drawn this, right? Or maybe they played around Censor. I guess that could be the case. Maybe they really just thought like, oh, they have probably Censor, so I'm gonna throw out my bad free drop there. No, I mean, this is obviously... Company playing around Censor. No. Okay. A little bit of a cat and mouse game here. Sage my black. That's kind of funny. I don't know what's the purpose of that. I do have black lands in my deck still, that I can get. So I can just get an island, I guess. I don't need black mana, but I want to cycle at least one of these Censors. And I want to still have Deluge up. Maybe they just don't have Deluge. Maybe they just don't have company, they're just bluffing, but I don't know. It seems weird. Now they do this. Teferi. I do have another Memory Deluge in my graveyard. I go to 4 life. Just take the Vanishing Verse. Interesting game. They could have attacked the turn early already with the cave. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. But I guess I like it because we're looking in a good position. Guess I'll play one of these. Throwing a Veto there makes me very confident in just dropping Teferi. And again, I don't really see a reason to... I could Castle Vantress end of turn, for example, but they have Collected Company in the deck, so... I'm not gonna tap out for anything, really. Okay. That could make them come back. Cool. That worked out just fine. Veto actually kind of decent in this matchup. Especially if they play around Censor like they did. It's good to have those hard counters. Lyra. If I can prevent them from going crazy, Lyra is technically the strongest of all angels. At least if you compare to their deck. They don't really have a way to deal with it. Reasonable to bring in. Lockdown, they don't have enough 2-drops. But they do have a decent amount, but I think Fetid Pools is just the appropriate answer for those. Disdainful Stroke is reasonable, Lyra is reasonable, Void Rend, Chromium, I guess, is reasonable as well, maybe? Perhaps Shark Typhoon is the better Chromium. And what's not good? I kind of like everything. I mean, Veto is also reasonable. The 3-mana counters could be a bit too slow on the draw. But yeah, I don't know. This is kind of difficult. Farewell I also like. It goes around Bishop. Gets rid of Shaper's Sanctuary if they have that card. Wandering Emperor is okay. Maybe I can cut that one. I guess Veto is just better than Stroke. Counters everything that Stroke counters. I don't know. Void Rend is decent too. They really did play around Censor. Maybe just cut one Censor. Pretty sure they had turn 3 Angelic Overseer, but they decided to just play that Skyclave Apparition. They also have a Jace emblem, Jace avatar, which you don't get easily. You have to win the Decathlon finals, or at least get like 5 wins in the Decathlon finals to get that avatar. So usually when people have that, I give them a little bit more respect. This hand sucks, but am I going to 5? This hand can be, of course, great if I just draw exactly like a Hallowed Fountain or something like that off the top. If not, this hand is really bad. My opponent kept the 5. But I have Verdict. I mean, the potential is there, of course. I'm gonna try it. But what am I bottoming? Maybe the Veto? Maybe the Absorb? Maybe just Teferi, actually. Teferi is pretty good against a green-white deck, but in this hand, I might just have to keep up counter spells. Can't tap out for the 5. That's good. It's the question, am I gonna shock myself here? It's like they're just gonna play an Angel, so I'm not gonna veto anything. But I guess they might play around my Censor day. We'll see. And then we can Psycho Shark, which we're probably gonna do actually. They play around the Censor too. Yeah, I should Psycho Shark. I need that land for Verdict. Buy some time. This buys me a lot of time. But let that resolve and try to like Void Rend. Oh, did those get pumped, deal me more damage? I think that was a good absorb target. Alright, now I can just Verdict. They don't seem to have Heroic Intervention. You can rebuild with a Kyla's Reconstruction, of course. Oh no, this looks bad. They're doing it. Jeez, that is really strong. Yeah, I mean, couldn't really have done much against that. Yeah, that's outrageous. Just basically need another Verdict here. I mean, that was just a bit unlucky. They had a really good draw then. There was nothing I could do there. There's really nothing I can do. This doesn't change anything. Now I just... Now I basically... the only out I have is Verdict at this point. Warning Emperor won't do it anymore. Yeah. Alright, GG. No. They had to play the entire hand out to kill me here. I mean, to be fair, if they didn't have this, I guess I would have... No, I wouldn't have died. They needed that too, because I could have just Emperored Valkyrie, take 2, go to 5. Yeah, I'm actually in a pretty decent spot. Then I played Teferi. So they really... yeah, whatever. Anyways, they had a pretty good draw there, and yeah, we lost. Happens. I guess Memory Deluge is a card you could cut because it's a bit slow. I think it's fine on a play though. Perfect hand. Couldn't keep fast enough. I saw the tower, I saw 3 lands, I saw 2 counters, a Verdict. I mean, can't ask for anything else. I could ask for like a Memory Deluge, but yeah, this is excellent. Okay. Alright, I'll take it. That's an angel card I'm probably gonna counter because it makes my verdict worse. It's a good one. Yeah, I won't verdict until I have the Dovin's Veto available, so I can make sure last game doesn't repeat itself. They verdict and then they rebuild or reconstruct, I should say. Wonder if I should cycle the Censor. Is there any need to? Why not, I guess. Although you never know. Sometimes late in the game they're gonna run into it. Like now, for example. Okay. Every land I play makes white mana? What is with this mana base? Should I take a look over this? You're gonna activate that one? Well, that makes my play pretty easy. A shark, I like that.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Yeah, the shark is gonna be brutal here. They're playing Red Dane to force me to cast Memory Deluge, but I have the shark, so I don't have to do anything besides that. I mean, technically, I'll just make a Samurai because it's 4/4 blocks the 3/4, the 2/3. Oops, no attacks. I'll shock myself so I have Deluge at the ready. They shocked themselves too. This is Kyla for a Bazillion. Yeah. GG. Alright, sweet. Got the Angels! Alright, Plat tier 1. God, it's been a while in Plat this month. And we still are. Alright, because that Karuga Fires match wasn't really a full match, I'm gonna do one more. And it's Esper Control. Haven't lost yet, 3-0. I mean, that Karuga Fires matchup, I guess. Or you cannot really count as a win, but it's a win on the... Yeah, anyways, you know what I mean. Mod Xon is our opponent. Okie dokie. We're on draw. Never a good sign. And again, we have a pretty dicey hand here. Lots of mulligans with Esper so far. It's greedy keeping this. Could work out. It's pretty greedy. If I draw a black, I have a push available. Yeah, I'll try it. I'm just always thinking about the upside of certain things. If I'm playing against a Thoughtseize deck, I like hands like these more because games tend to go longer against Thoughtseize decks. They're fair, so you can draw out of a stumble. And it's also important to have a lot of resources. I should have played the Plains, because if I draw a black land like Isolated Chapel, I want to be able to cast my Fetid Push. Why did I do what I did? Okay, we're playing against mono black mid-range, I guess. Someone ported their standard deck to Explorer. Oh. Oh, I see what's up. I see. Doing some mono black devotion shenanigans. I'll draw. Maybe a viewer of the channel, huh? I mean, I'm smiling right now, but Grey Merchant of Esper does a lot of damage. And this is a mono black deck that doesn't play Beta Push in the main deck, so it has one fewer dead card. Guess I'll attack. Sure. Maybe I should have stayed back. The more I think about this, I should have just stayed back there, I think. Yeah, because I just want to jump the sleeper. I don't actually want to push it here. I want a Memory Deluge. I should have stayed back. I didn't think this through. Yep, that was a mistake. Hopefully I don't get punished for that. But going down to 8. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna just hold up the Dissipate. Kill the sleeper here. Now I stayed back with the Shark. Anyways. Imagine we would be at 10 life. It would feel a little safer. Aetherborn, okay. I guess they perhaps played around the verdict this entire game. I mean, they know I have it, I guess. That's why they only deployed the sleeper and the dreams. Yeah, makes sense. I will take a damage. have murderers right now.
Really should have seen that coming.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This game. Nah, well, I have a second Teferi. I'll get rid of the dreams at some point before I die. Don't worry, but yeah. So that's a thing that Vanishing Verse does. It gets rid of Underworld dreams. Yeah. Very well prepared for the likely to face Mono Black Devotion deck. 0. I think that's fine. Wonder why they didn't kill my shark. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe they want to activate the Castle Ardenvale, I guess. They are playing around this verdict, huh? Man, I might lose this game. This doesn't look great for me. If they have another Murderous Rider up here. Ugh. Yeah, I think I have to deploy my Teferi though. Can't sit around do nothing, can I? I guess I could just Memory Deluge end of turn. Try to find like a Wandering Emperor, give me some life back. Take the 2. Then if they play anything meaningful like Grey Merchant, I can't do nothing. I have to Dissipate and then I can't really evolve my position. I think I'll just play Tef. Plus. They have another Murderous Rider. I have Veto, I guess, if I want to. Then I would die to Grey Merchant. Doesn't look like they have the rider. So take the damage or whatever you attack. I'll take it. Yeah, go face, sure. Now I have the Teferi, so now it's kind of on my opponent to do something. If they play multiple creatures here, I can just minus on the Meto Massacre with my Teferi, then Verdict, and then I have a counterspell up, so that's fine. Sure. Grey Merchant is the danger. Peer into the Abyss would also kill me, of course. Shieldred would be annoying. Yeah, that's also annoying. I can go to 1 here if I want to. Nah. I'll just minus. I could still take the 2 damage and have Deluge up. But what if they play something that kills me? I go with this line. If they play something that kills me, then I have to Dissipate. And then I would have shocked myself for nothing. Just a bad feeling. That's okay. They have another rider, they just drew it, huh? I think I'm gonna Delusion Response and see what I find. Veto and a verse. Pretty good Deluge. And an Absorb. Alright.
Hurry.
Okay. I think now we're safe. I technically don't have to kill this, but all the resources I have, double Deluge, Teferi, double Counterspell, I can just throw out this Vanishing Verse and preserve my life total. Okay. I have 4, 7, 9, 10 mana. Yeah, with 10 mana, 5, 6, 10, yeah, I can just pass. Because I have Deluge and 1 counter, that's perfect. If I had 9 mana, I would float mana in my end step, Deluge, untap, and then I would still have the mana up. This doesn't matter anymore. Castle is fine, but it doesn't, you know, it can't compete with the card advantage I have. Ah, isn't this nice? Ah, wonderful. Liliana of the Vale. Sure.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault. We all have things we want.
What's happening next? Activate Castle Octrain. Wouldn't have thought I get to use my Censor this late in the game.
Let your blade do your talking. I have got new moves to teach you.
Alright. Mono Black Devotion. Underworld Dreams. Do we want this Void Rend? So they have decent amount of creatures. Aetherborn, Sleeper. They have Thoughtseize Dreams. Silent Blood. Murderous Rider often. Yeah, I think Veto is probably good enough here. Lyra doesn't seem very good against someone who has Murderous Swift End, Murderous Rider / Swift End. Starnheim is okay here, I think. Disdainful Stroke, counters Shieldred and Grey Merchant. Yeah, it's okay. Narset stops Final Blood. Castle from being activated in their turn. Doesn't seem that amazing. Deluge, definitely good. But then again, I look at my main deck and I don't really have anything that's bad. I like all the cards I have. I like the Emperor, I like my Vanishing Verse, I like my Push. So, I like the Verdict too. I like the Farewell. I like Shark. Again, problems of having too many good cards, huh? Maybe Mate Disappear can go. But they do have Liliana, which is, I guess we have Vanishing Verse. Liliana isn't nearly as good against this deck as it is against Blue-White or Esper. Sorry, against Blue-White or Blue-Black control. Yeah, really, this is tough to sideboard when you only have good cards, honestly. Trimish Fatal Push, but they have Aetherborn and Sleeper. Could trim it Verdict. I don't know, I don't like that. Shark Typhoon's so nice though, it's a 2-for-1. You know what, I'm just gonna trim down on Shark Typhoon. Is that correct? Cut a Wandering Emperor? This can't be correct. Cut a Void Rend? I don't know, maybe I have two, maybe I don't have, maybe I should have cut like one interaction piece, like a Fatal Push, something like that. Or Make Disappear. Or another card draw spell. Because if they go, I don't know, Fauntseas, then have some ways of gaining card advantage, I could lose. Sounds totally fine. No Fauntseas. Could see that 27 lands is the correct thing to do with all the cycling lands. And again, with control deck, you often only lose because you don't hit your land drops. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's just a veto, right? Could also let it resolve. Just cycle. I do have Vanishing Verse. This deals me damage, but I mean, it's pretty slow. Whenever I need to, I can just get rid of it. The most important thing here is to just draw into lands, which we didn't. Now I would have to discard, which I have to do, unfortunately. I'll just discard this. Maybe just discard a Verdict. Verdict is clean against Shieldred. Warning Emperor is a better card though, especially if they don't build a board state early. I don't assume they have many creatures in their hand right now, so Verdict doesn't seem very good. That's what I'm thinking. Whenever a creature of yours dies, you lose a life. I think this is what happens. Doesn't matter. Okay. Awkward. I need some lands. Maybe I should have vetoed. I'm just gonna verse. I was thinking that my hand is pretty bad. Like, I have some bad cards in my hand, so I'm like, whatever, I can just get rid of those. Now I don't have an answer for the dreams. No, this is so annoying, losing a game like this. But hey, that's magic. I kept the 2 land on the draw. 13 cards deep into my deck. It's quite unlikely. But hey, that's magic. I hope they don't have a Shieldred here. Yeah, I probably should have just vetoed that Liliana. Yeah. This game annoyed me, and I don't want to play annoying games. I know I could just draw Vanishing Verse and probably win and whatever, but this was just an annoying game of Magic. I think Verdict might not be that good, actually, post-board. To get, especially when I want to play. Yeah, I made a mistake there though. I should have vetoed the Liliana. I was a bit hasty. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. Could easily lose this matchup, but I think this matchup should be pretty good, of course, because I don't know, like the deck they are playing is not very yeah, it's not very fast. It's very slow, and against a slow deck, the control deck usually comes out victorious. Put a Thoughtseize in the graveyard. Interesting. Excellent draw step. They're just passing. Maybe I take a land. Fatal push. I mean, they just take a land actually. Close. Could take a fatal push too. I mean, yeah, we all know where this is going. Oh, there. Okay, touche. Not bad. Wow. Not bad. Okay. It's also exiled from the graveyard. That was pretty good. I was saying we all know where this is going. Yeah, well, I didn't have this one on my radar. Yeah, that's the one card they could have had to completely turn this game around. Amazing. Well, glad I took a land over a fatal push, I guess. Gave me the free life, why not? Exile the Warlock class. And the unfortunate part is that I don't have any... I have only one more Memory Deluge in my deck. Now I have the question of Hall of Storm Giants hit them for 7 or make some 1/1s. Yeah. 5 cards still left. I just got lands. Guess I'll get the 7 in while I can. Okay, Mono Black Devotion with the 1-of Fortress Ocean sideboard stealing that post-board game here. Not bad. I could have anticipated that they had it, but I couldn't have done much about it. I guess here in this position, maybe I should just play my island. They didn't know about the Godless Shrine, so it's a bit of a bluff value, which could help against an opponent who likes to play around stuff. I myself, if my opponent drew 1 unknown and then attacked me for Hall of Storm Giants, I'm pretty sure if I would be the mono black guy, I would like put them on they just drew a land, you know. Or at least whatever it may be, it's not a counter spell, so I wouldn't play around a counter spell. That will stop my wall and my hall. That will win them the late game. And I took out the Supreme Verdicts, right? I have 1 left in the deck. This also gains Death Touch on the 2nd chapter. So I could technically kill the Aetherborn, activate my hall, attack with it, put them to 4. Is that a winning line? They will be left with a sleeper, 3 cards in hand. I don't know. Like the Hall of Storm Giants will be able to be blocked by this next turn anyways. It can actually... No, they don't have Nykthos. So they activate now, they activate again, they have 7 mana. And then they can start drawing like 2 cards, block my hall. The sleeper is just more dangerous. I will just make 1/1s. Hope for some good top decks. Really unfortunate. Like, I was happy to see all these deluges. I guess I shouldn't have taken the 3rd deluge. I should have left it in my deck. But to be fair, it would have been at the bottom of my deck anyways if I don't take it. So I wouldn't have drawn it. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of rough that my best top deck, which Memory Deluge clearly is here, is mostly gone in exile. Fort Distortion. Oh yeah, you can also play this card in the Chromium slot. It gets the job done against a control opponent. No plays makes me happy. Not even activating the Warlock class. What's going on? Okay, I guess they must have a swift end, right? They're just waiting for me to activate this hall. Now I'm gonna bluff a bit. Don't play my land. I'm at 19. I mean, draw go favors me, I'd say. I have this Ardenvale making 1/1s every turn. They also haven't played a land last turn, so what is their hand? Is it just a bunch of Murderous Riders? Peer into the abyss? I'd love for them to keep up 6 mana every turn for Swift End and the Ward cost. That would be great. Okay, that bluff also worked out. Using up a go blank there, nice. Niktos number 2 for a Grey Merchant. Verdict. I think I fired it off, yeah. Okay, pass. Just hoping to have like land, Murderous Rider, Murderous Rider. Murderous Rider, I don't know, wouldn't be that good against my Ardenvale. Wow, they're doing this? Okay, interesting. I can get a hit in for 7, really. Yeah, I'll just get a hit in for 7, right? Weird game. Yeah, well. Alright. Making 1/1s again. They're thinking about using their Swift End. If they have 2 of them, it's reasonable to use up a Swift End on a 1/1. Obviously not a great feeling. Yeah, I was already... That is also a card they could have had. So against that, I could have played my land. Well, it's okay. Losing a Glacial Fortress ain't too bad. They're just playing it out. Well, as far as I can tell, that thing has the jump block now. Good deal for me. I just get to kill their creature for free, essentially. They gain 2 life. But yeah, if they keep up the Swift End, of course, it's also not going to be great against my Castle Ardenvale. I have them sort of in a lose-lose spot there. If they have Peer into the Abyss, they just kill me, right? Peer into the Abyss says you lose half your life total, and then you lose the other half. Let's attack first with the Warlock class, chapter 3. Cycle this, I guess. Teferi. I think I actually prefer not playing it. Although, I guess if they drew discard, let's see if they have another go blank. Like, it's just gonna get destroyed, right? They have another Swift End. I don't know. Close call. If they have another go blank, keeping it in hand is bad. Just grasp. Okay.
I'll have a better plan next time. No time for a break.
Okay, that protects me against the Abyss. And protects my Hall of Storm Giants from a Swift End. So if they don't deploy anything here, we might have lethal next turn. What's up, Liliana of the Veil? Are they gonna make me minus or are they gonna make me plus? If they make me minus, I wanna keep this veto. I don't know, I should probably just counter, because at this point, they don't even have the mana up to prevent the Hall from killing them. Are they just gonna play Murderous Rider again as a 2/3? Yeah. Gosh. What a weird game. So if I attack with the Hall, they don't have to jump block. They could just take it. But they still go to 1. I'll take it. Oh, this game is weird. System message, okay. Nice. Just had a bunch of go blanks. Oh no. Oh no, I lose another 5. I go to 2? Ay. Okay, if I draw a Vanishing Verse, I have to win. Creatures that die in their turn will cost me... Oh, because I lose another one. Well, GG. Oh gosh. What the heck? We lost against Mono Black Devotion. Man. Magic be like that sometimes. I could have farewelled just the Warlock class. That's a play I could have made at one point in this game. Would have been alive if I would have done that. Oh man. I don't think that was the correct line. But in hindsight, I guess it was. Can't believe it. But okay, I think. What a weird one. What a weird one. We lost game 2 because we didn't play any lands, and then Fort Distortion is just that's the card. If you want to play one card to beat a control deck, that's it. That just whatever your deck might beat the most shitty trash pile that you could ever play. If you have a Fort Distortion on turn 6 against someone who doesn't have any planeswalkers until then, you will win. But yeah, if I had a Teferi or a Warning Emperor, of course things would have been also a bit different, but I didn't have those before the Fort Distortion hit. So here we are. Anyways, nonetheless, this deck I like it. I think there's something to it. If you tune it more, play more with it, it might be pretty good in this meta game. I mulliganed a lot, so you could play another land to make the mana base maybe a bit better. Perhaps there's too many white sources, things like that. But this is something to work on. I could do a video in the near future after having tuned this deck, because again, I took it from like a tournament, a Magic Online one, then made some changes, but I haven't played much with this deck. But yeah, there's potential to it, I think. And I'm not only saying that because I'm biased and a control player. No, I really believe so. Vanishing Verse is just that fantastic of a card. And counterspells are pretty good against some of the decks in the metagame. Well, that's going to be it for this video, though. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a long one. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also helps with the algorithm. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching as always. See you in the next one. Peace out.